Lesson 36. Let's begin with our first word, acute. A useful phrase to remember is acute young doctor. If something is acute, it is very sharp, either in the mind or in a situation. An acute illness is one that is serious and happens suddenly. A person with an acute sense of smell can detect scents very well. The phrase, acute young doctor, is used when describing a doctor who is quick-thinking, intelligent, and able to diagnose problems sharply and efficiently. Now, let's look at commit. A helpful phrase for this word is commit a crime. To commit something means to do it, especially when talking about serious actions. If a person steals, they commit a crime. If someone commits to a goal, it means they promise to do their best to achieve it. The phrase commit a crime is used when talking about illegal actions that a person chooses to do. Next, we have economical. A good phrase to remember is economical spending habits. If something is economical, it is used carefully to save money or resources. A person with economical spending habits does not waste money and looks for good deals. A fuel-efficient car is economical because it uses less gas. The phrase economical spending habits is used when talking about people who spend wisely and avoid wasting money. Let's move on to futile. An example phrase is futile attempt. If something is futile, it is useless and has no chance of success. Trying to push a locked door open is a futile attempt. Trying to argue with someone who refuses to listen is also futile. The phrase futile attempt is used when someone tries to do something but has no chance of succeeding. Now let's talk about impact. A useful phrase is impact of the crash. An impact is the force of one thing hitting another, or the effect something has on a situation. A car accident has a strong impact when two vehicles collide. A teacher can have a big impact on students by inspiring them to learn. The phrase impact of the crash is used when talking about the force of a collision and how much damage it caused. Next, we have logical. A great phrase for this word is logical answer. If something is logical, it makes sense and follows clear reasoning. A logical answer in math follows the correct steps. A detective looks for logical clues to solve a case. The phrase logical answer is used when talking about an explanation that is clear and reasonable. Let's move on to narration. An important phrase to remember is narration of the story. Narration is the act of telling a story. In a movie, the narrator's voice explains what is happening. A book's narration can be in the first person, where the character tells the story, or third person, where an outside voice tells it. The phrase narration of the story is used when talking about how a story is told and from whose point of view. Now let's discuss phase. A phrase to associate with this word is 3 phases of development. A phase is a stage or step in a process of change. A baby goes through different phases of learning, from crawling to walking. The moon has different phases, such as the full moon and new moon. The phrase 3 phases of development is used when talking about stages in learning, growing, or building something over time. Next, we have resolve. A useful phrase is resolve the problem he resolved to fight. To resolve means to fix, decide, or make a firm decision. If 2 friends argue, they can resolve the problem by talking it out. A person who resolves to train every day has made a strong decision to do it. The phrase resolve the problem is used when someone works to solve a conflict, while he resolved to fight means he firmly decided to take action. Finally, let's talk about toil. A helpful phrase is toil over the homework. To toil means to work very hard for a long time. Farmers toil in the fields to grow crops. Students toil over their homework when they spend hours trying to understand a difficult subject. The phrase toil over the homework is used when someone puts in a lot of effort and struggles to complete their schoolwork. That's the end of Lesson 36. Keep practicing these words and phrases to build your vocabulary and confidence.